You need some water? Y'all, this is it. This is going to be our last camping trip in northern Arizona for the year. Why? Because it's literally almost November. And hi, that's all you wanted for your drink? Oh, okay. And it's finally cooling down in the desert. Tomorrow, it's supposed to drop anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees in the entire state of Arizona, which means the desert is going to be like 75 this week. So this is our last night here. It's going to be cold. It's going to start getting into like the low 50s up here in the Payson, Arizona area. And I'm sure Flagstaff and Williams are working on getting snow. But this is it. So we are going to enjoy the trees, but I do admit I'm ready for desert camping season because that means all the events are happening and I get to see my friends. I have an insane December, January, and February every season because that's when all the fun stuff happens. So let's go see what we can find in terms of a campsite. Okay, we arrived at a campsite. Oh my gosh, today is so perfect. It's 73 and sunny, and I only saw 2 people camping. It is lovely and it is quiet. Winston was ready to go camping, so he's exploring while I work on getting set up. I gathered some cardboard and wood this morning just in case I'm feeling fiery tonight and want to have a campfire. I have a great fire ring here. So I have cardboard and stuff, and then I have groceries and things I need to put away. I just threw it in my van at my mom's place because y'all know I like doing that stuff. I need to put this in my rooftop box. Ooh, I'm stepping on pine cones. What do you think, bub? I have a new all-powers portable power station with a 36 volt 200 watt solar panel. So I don't have like a ton of clear sun here. It's constantly shifting, obviously because of the trees, but I've been using my power station the last few nights and it's down to like 50%, and I haven't used my solar yet. So I'm just gonna set it up and like see what kind of sun I can get here. If I don't get a lot, it's no big deal, because I'll be back in the desert tomorrow where there's no obscurity because there's no trees. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. I love new solar panels. They're always so crispy. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not getting the best sun, but I had to bust it out and check out the situation. I like the legs on this solar panel. The cord is not long, but it never is with these solar panels. I do have my extension cord, but right now, not going to use it. Well, it's slowly going up. I'm getting only 50 watts of input, but I'm like in shade, a lot of shade. So just wanted to get that going. I need to eat lunch. I'm hungry. Want to share with Mama? Got us a sandwich. What are you doing? You feel good today? I love you. I have gotten a lot done. I even set up a little potential campfire for tonight. Now, it is supposed to rain starting around 8:30, and I believe light showers consistently throughout the night, which will help the fire go out, so that's good. But I will make sure that I pack up camp before we get into the van for the evening, because otherwise everything will get rained on. But in the meantime, I did eat my lunch, put my stuff away, make my bed, clean up. I'm not getting solar right now because of the trees, but I think it's about to shift around here soon. Winston and I are listening to music and hanging out. That's pretty much it. Very, very chill day. Just how I like it most of the time. I didn't tell you guys what I did this weekend. I did something different this weekend, y'all. I did. I went to a party at a house. Y'all, I know, I was acting wild. No, but actually, for real, I don't ever go to parties at houses. So that was fun. My girlfriend Mandy, who I met about 10 years ago when I was living in the suburbs of Gilbert, Arizona, she was my mobile dog groomer. If you need a groomer in Payson, Arizona, she's been doing it for 20 years. She's freaking amazing. The only person I would trust to ever groom my dogs. She's gonna be the poodle's new groomer, mom's poodles. But anyways, so, and Winston, I don't get him groomed. I groom him myself because, yeah, okay. Anyways, I met Mandy 10 years ago. We remained friends ever since. She was living in Mesa. I was living in Gilbert, but now she lives in Payson. She's been living here for about a year, or living there for about a year. And it's cool because my mom has a house there too. So she invited me a couple months ago to the Halloween party. I hadn't seen her house yet. So I went there for the party and it was really fun. It was so nice to see her house, and she's come so far and I'm so proud of her. She's amazing. But yeah, so I did that. I went to a Halloween party. It was super fun. Yeah, the wind has picked up a little bit more and there's some clouds. So I put away my solar because it's just pointless to have it out. I put on my long sleeves even though it's like 3 p.m. So I'm happy about that. Feeling good. Winston's feeling good. How you doing, puppies? Snoozy boy. Okay. Winston's been taking his meds, his heart medication, his gabapentin. He's been doing really good with his medications. So a little side note there. Everything is going smoothly. tell y'all what, I'm not feeling too spicy today. In fact, I actually feel kind of terrible. I was having a fine night, like just by myself. I had my little fire. We were in the van around, well, no, it was early. I don't even remember. Long story short, I had a really severe allergic reaction to something. And I ended up breaking out into hives on my leg. And this hasn't happened in about 10 years. Last time it happened was when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease. I called non-emergency because I just wasn't sure. Excuse me, sorry. I just wasn't sure what to do. But it's funny because I noticed when I drove in here the other day, there was like a staging area with National Forest law enforcement and sorry, I'm so out of it today. First responders. So, because I told them what forest road I'm on, and they were like, "Oh, we have a team down there because they're doing this, that, and the other. Let's send somebody over to you. Let's send somebody over to you." So, their paramedics came here. They were here like 3 minutes later. So it was dark, it was cold, it was raining. So they ended up putting me in the ambulance and to like take my vitals and like see what was going on. And meanwhile, Winston was passed out in the van and like a ranger sat with him, like a ranger, like law enforcement. I don't know. They had a law enforcement truck, but it was National Forest. So I don't know if they were rangers or who those people were in particular, but anyways, I took some Benadryl, I took my vitals, my blood pressure was really high. I don't know if I got bitten by something, or yesterday I was gathering wood and there's a lot of unusual vegetation in this area and it's very dry, and I got a cut on my ankle and I noticed that it was bleeding and it was very painful and like an unusual pain, and I don't know if something like got me in the bushes or I don't know what happened, but it was a rough night and I'm not feeling well today. I'm feeling very like groggy because of the Benadryl, and yeah, so honestly I would stay here, but it's cold. It's cold. It's a high of 52 today. It's 11 a.m. and it's still in the 50s in the van. Winston and I have been snuggling all morning. I had a hard time like I slept a good portion of the night, but then this morning, beginning at like 6 a.m., I was just kind of awake and asleep, and oh boy, it's been a long time since I've had a reaction like that, and it's not fun, especially because I don't know what caused it. So I love that for me. So yeah, I'm not feeling too hot, but we're going to move on because it's in the 70s in the valley. So that's where I'm going to get to. And then I will do laundry. Well, y'all, I am driving the Hot Mess Express today, but I made it home. I took my time and then I treated myself to Cracker Barrel. I wanted Cracker Barrel because I felt like I needed, and I haven't been to Cracker Barrel in like forever, but I felt like I needed like a super hearty comfort meal. So I got the fried chicken. Yes, I did. Feeling a little bit better. I felt like, I explained it to my mom, I felt like I've been like hungover all day. Like I've had a really bad hangover all day. But the good news is, it's absolutely gorgeous out here in the valley today. Yeah, it's like 75 out. It's 77 in my van, and I honestly, I didn't think I'd feel like doing anything today when I got back to the house. I'm only here for 48 hours. But it's so nice out, and I'm like, okay, I just need to get like some fresh air and try and act normal, even though I don't feel normal. I just want to get into that mindset. So I'm doing my van things. Oh, and I got another power station in the mail, so I'm gonna check that out. and start my laundry. Yeah, do my chores. I love doing van things in the driveway when it's actually nice outside. It feels like it's been forever since I've been able to do this. So I've been chatting with my girlfriend Stacy, and I realized that this morning when I took that clip leaving camp, I was not feeling well. I was still kind of out of it. And some stuff I actually kind of have a hard time remembering, like some of the stuff that happened last night. But Stacy was asking me some questions, and it got me thinking about some really important details. So I either got a bug bite or a plant, an allergic reaction to one of those things. I had noticed that, because it was kind of like on top of my ankle, if you will, I had noticed that I was bleeding and I had some little like spot, like it looked like I had gotten like 3 mosquito bites, but I didn't really think anything of it until later when I noticed that my leg was starting to go numb and it was breaking out in hives. So I called non-emergency because I wasn't sure what to do. But there was a staging area set up not even a mile away down the dirt road with first responders, forest rangers, and paramedics. Well, I guess they're first responders. So when I called non-emergency, I knew exactly where I was. Like, this is the forest road I'm on. This is where I'm at. I'm very familiar with the space that I was camping in. I've been camping there for years. So I was able to tell her, and she's like, oh, well, we have law enforcement, first responders right down the road. I'm just going to send them to you. So that worked out. And this is the perfect example of why I never camp alone if I don't have cell service. I have to be able to make that phone call. Now you can get, like, if you don't have cell service, if you don't have Starlink, you can get like a Garmin and a CB radio and like all that sort of stuff, but I don't have those things. So that's why it's important that I have cell service to make a phone call. A lot of the times if you call 911, they can ping your location. I called non-emergency, but again, I was able to tell them exactly where I was at. And it was pitch black. I did have lights out, but it was absolutely pitch black, of course, because I'm in the forest at 9 o'clock. It was raining. So what I did, because I was sitting here where I normally sit, so I opened my door and I was like waving a light so they could see me. So that's how they were able to pull in. And then they took me into the ambulance because, again, it was cold and it was raining and it was dark. And there's not space in here for paramedics to like work on me, if you will, but Winston was in here. So they had to, I went into the ambulance on my own free will, and there were 2 rangers that basically like sat outside of my van because Winston was passed out in here. But by that point, I started to get nervous because I didn't want to go to the hospital. I didn't want to be separated from Winston or my van. I would have gone to the hospital, of course, if I absolutely had to, but I didn't feel like it was necessary. And I know that the paramedics would have taken me to the hospital if they felt it was necessary, but they gave me the option, and I chose not to do that. But then I started to panic, right? Like, I started to get nervous because now all of a sudden I'm in this ambulance and it's late and I don't know what's going on with my leg, and now I'm separated from Winston. So now I start to panic, and then my blood pressure goes up, and then, so then it's just like a snowball effect. So it's really important that you are able to make those emergency phone calls. This is honestly, like the only downside to traveling alone is that if something like that happens, it can be very scary when you're alone. Thankfully, the situation wasn't worse. Thankfully, I was able to breathe and that sort of thing. But I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease 10 years ago, and I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to play this woe is me card. I just wanted to suck it up and get back in my van and take my Benadryl, and they made sure that my blood pressure was stable before they released me. And so, yeah, I've felt crappy all day, but getting the fresh air and having a meal, I'm feeling much better. And it's just a reminder that if you are camping and traveling alone, which I do, you know, about half the time, more than half the time, that you have some sort of system in place in case of an emergency. So I will wrap up this video since it got long due to my little situation there with my allergic reaction. Oh boy, it's fun times, but I gotta get to it. I'm on a time crunch, y'all. I got stuff to do. I can't be feeling crappy. I got stuff to do. Like and subscribe. I will see you next time.